So it just proves that it's false. Like, whoever he had who's impersonating this officer who I talked to is a liar. It's not really the officer.
Do you remember your reporting officer ID?
10347.
Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. It's the golden rule. It's a way to live. And I hope that more people would actually, abide by that.
Before you ask, it was streaming. I took this week off from streaming. Doing videos like this, while it is more technical work, they aren't near as draining as streams are. Well, at least I hope. Today, we're looking at the rant that Phil went on about Rich, and from what I saw on King Jad's stream yesterday, it was so bad I actually had to bow out. So let's see how much of this we can get through, courtesy of Snort Burnell. Big ups, obviously.
Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Snort
Hogan. Drip.
Snort.
I got the drip. Go.
So, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to have some fun. It's time for the meat of the show. All right? For the last several months, as you guys know, I have completely and utterly stayed away from any kind of drama and any kind of nonsense. I have. And the reason primarily being, after having months of it, after being a part of, shows with the Kino Casino and other stuff like that, I got kind of immersed in that level of stuff, right? I did. And, I didn't want it to become my end-all be-all. Every once in a while I would do it, and it would bring some views to the streams, and then I would break it up and go back to gameplay. Well, ultimately, all of that crowd has moved on. Let's be honest. Why? Because I kind of stopped doing the content. And you might say, well, why did you stop doing the content? All right? Well, number one, I think that it's funny from time to time to observe this kind of stuff, just as an outsider, and to see what it's like to peek back into the world of the sphere of the lol cow shit. And it gives you, it gives you a quick laugh. But the thing is, I'm the kind of guy, I get bored of it right away. Like, I could maybe stomach it for a day or two, and then after that, I just get really tired of it. And it's like, I just want to move on. I want to enjoy games. I want to chill with my audience. I don't want every day to be this drama shit, okay? The thing is, just because I moved on, the world did not, all right? These people who fucking rag on me every day continued to do it. Review Tech USA continued his path down madness, his spiral down into his fucking toilet, okay? So much has happened. And you guys come on my streams, and you're like, did you hear what this happened? Did you hear what this happened? What this happened? What this happened? No. I didn't hear any of it. I don't pay attention to it. I got my own positive stuff to do. The thing is, my life isn't reliant on drama content to make a buck.
Well, now wait a second, Phil. Then what is your life reliant on? Because it certainly isn't the merit of your own product. Otherwise, that would sell without you needing to beg. And we know that's not happening. Remember, DSP was bitching and crying over a crick in his neck for like 2 or 3 weeks, and when he got COVID or the flu, he was using that as a crutch for donations well into a month after it happened. I hate to tell you this, Phil. If begging is a major portion of your business, and it is, that is a form of drama, in my opinion. Especially when you connect it to things like, guys, we have to hit the goal or I can't play with Legos. Yeah, it's a stupid consequence, but it's a consequence. And part of drama is either suffering or avoiding consequences. So, yes, Phil, you are reliant upon drama. Suggesting otherwise is just disingenuous.
I can make positive, fun content with my audience because I've positioned myself in that way. In the 16 years I've been a creator, I didn't crash out. I didn't hit bottom, right? I'm still making good stuff, and people appreciate it and enjoy it. Obviously, my audience today is way smaller than my old audience, but at least I still have that positive audience. Guys like Review Tech don't have that. Get it? They don't have a positive audience at all. Their audience is people just there to point and laugh at the clown on the other end of that camera and to basically throw them pennies to see them dance around like a monkey.
You can't be serious. What are we doing here, Phil? You may not want to believe it, but that's quite literally your business model. Why else would people pay you, a physically useless person, to play video games poorly? You think they're here to be your pal? Hell, you treat your audience like shit at the first sign of perceived disrespect. Not actual disrespect, but anything you think is disrespect. Hell, someone once asked a question about being handheld in Elden Ring versus summons, and you went on a profanity-laced rant in which one could tell you took that comment very personally, and only after demanding an apology, like you did with the guy who didn't believe you did the push-ups. Remember that, Phil? But yeah, you demanded an apology. And only after a few minutes did you realize he was asking a legitimate question. Who would willingly want to be a part of that community, Phil? And then you have the audacity to attack someone else's content? At least when I call you a piece of shit, a pussy, or a liar, I have evidence to back it up, Phil. Jesus Christ.
That's his life at this point, okay? So, I mean, all the shit he went through, if you're not aware, so he basically went in a downward spiral. He deleted his own channel off of YouTube entirely, so his channel doesn't exist anymore. He now only has a streaming channel. That streaming channel kept getting diminishing returns more and more. People cared about him less and less. And then eventually what happened was, as he was hitting rock bottom, Keemstar messaged him and said, I'll legitimately offer you a show in my Lolcow family of shows. You can actually be part of this new show called Lolcow Tech Talk. And the deal was that it was going to be Rich and his former editor / co-host, Jay, hosting the show together. But what Rich didn't know is that the entire thing was a setup. That Keemstar doesn't like Rich. Keemstar is the kind of guy that when he has a grudge against you, he's going to crush you like a bug. So what he did is he set him up to go on the show. And after 1 or 2 shows, Jay literally became the guy running the entire show, like from top to bottom. He controlled the streams, he ran all the tech, he did everything. And because of that, he essentially became the host of the show and continuously just made fun of Rich and made Rich the butt of the joke nonstop. So Jay basically got a ginormous power boost out of this, while Review Tech just looked like the fucking whipping boy. So it basically just got worse and worse. There was entire streams based on exposing Review Tech for being the clown he is. Like, for example, okay, he said, well, what happened was there's a whole stream where they're like, well, your name's Review Tech USA. Well, you're going to build a PC. He couldn't build a PC. He didn't know what the fuck he was doing. The guy doesn't know his ass from his elbow. All right. His name is literally Review Tech, and he doesn't understand tech anymore. So the whole stream was just watching how funny it was that he's an idiot who doesn't know how to do anything, and he's on a show called Lolcow Tech Talk, right?
And it's right here that I'm going to have to stop you, Phil. You see, you blame detractors fairly frequently for taking you out of context. And in this situation, it's true. Yes, that darn dirty detractor left out some key context as you're ripping into Rich and laughing at his misfortune. So, Snort Hogan, shame on you. Let's wind the clocks back, say, roughly 3 whole minutes.
I'm only telling you this because I know that sadly when shit tends to happen like this, it does affect me. And then people are like, wow, you're in a bad mood and you seem like you're grumpy and you seem like you're pissy today. And, you know, you're right. And there's nothing I can really do about it either. When you got shit going on, it's in the back of your mind constantly. It's like, what the fuck, right? It just sucks. But that's life. As I get older, I realize that's just life you got to deal with. This is why when you see a person, you can never really know what they're really going through. You know what I'm saying? Like, someone may look good on the surface, but you have absolutely no idea what level of stress they're actually at on the inside. You don't know what they're going through up here. You don't know what they're going through in here. And I just ask that everyone just have some kindness for those around them. Because a lot of people don't. A lot of people are just complete dickheads to everyone around them and think that they're the most important person on the planet, you know. But you never know what people are actually going through. So please be respectful. Please be nice. I mean, obviously, it'd be nice if you could do that to me, but just to everyone around you. Because at any given moment, you just don't know, right? You just don't know what the hell's going on. And then one day, you're going to go through that shit. And if people are nice to you, you're going to appreciate that people were nice to you when you really needed that, right? So do unto others as you would have them do unto you. It's the golden rule. It's a way to live. And I hope that more people would actually, abide by that.
So first off, no, I'm not making that up. This bit comes from literally less than 5 minutes before he starts this rip into Rich. Oh, and for more context as to how close it was to this segment, when he closes out that do unto others bit, the next segment is quite literally the start of Snort Hogan's video. So see, Phil, I'm leaving in the context. I've gone and found the part that darn dirty detractor Snort Hogan left out. You're welcome. Now, let's come back to the present, or the clip that preceded this trip down memory lane. Phil is laughing at Rich's misfortune, saying that it's funny watching what an idiot he is. Now, I'll contradict myself quite a bit while watching Phil, but the amount of irony here is so vast and so expansive. Alanis Morissette is likely to announce a new verse to the song that kept her at number 4 in 1996. Holy fuck, I'm old.
If you don't know, he just got fired. Like, no exaggeration, they fired him, a few days ago. And literally, this is not like a work or anything. They actually kicked him off the show and he's done. So he's no longer contracted with Keemstar or anything. And, he's basically resorted to desperate things. He's eating bugs on pizza. He's doing just fucked up stuff in order to try to make money. It's disgusting. So, I mean, he still streams. He doesn't stream every day, but he streams every couple of days. And his streams are random as fuck, random times, random lengths, no direction whatsoever. He does get money, but the money he gets is literally everyone just making fun of him constantly. Like, he doesn't get positive contributions. It's just, here's something that's a snide remark. Here's sarcasm. Here's outright insults. And he's forced to degrade himself the entire time that he's streaming. Now, you might say, well, he makes more money than you, Phil. Well, I mean, that's debatable. When he streams, he does make a lot of money. It's true, but he certainly doesn't stream as often as I do at all. And in addition to that, he's not getting any ad revenue. He doesn't have anything going on in the back end, right? He deleted his channel. So he's not making any profits on anything like that. He's literally only making profit when he's streaming, okay?
Okay, but why are you pocket watching people you don't care about, Phil? Why are you comparing yourself to people you hate? Well, perhaps that's unfair because I compare myself to Phil on a few fronts. One is as a sort of, here's what I expect an adult to do or how I expect that they should behave, and then I can give examples from my life. The other reason I compare is far more personal, and it's to check myself to make sure I'm not behaving like DSP. And for that, I have to say thanks, Phil. They say that if you met your clone, you would hate each other, and as I've said before in videos, I see a lot of myself in you, and I'm glad I've changed to not be like you in those regards. But to actually check how much someone makes who isn't spending money on a mobile game, has documented stories of supporters going to the poorhouse, or has a documented history of compulsively lying to said supporters, why does it matter how much Rich makes? What happens if he has a great stream? Is he operating under a false flag that he's gonna fix, I don't know, a leaky basement when in fact he's buying baseball cards? No? Okay, then it's not the same thing that we're doing with you, Phil. So it just seems very catty or petty to be looking at how Rich makes his money for the purpose of comparing how much you're liked or as an indication of how much better you are than him. And I know, I'm going to get flack for this bit because of how I talk about Phil, how I track what he says, how I dove into the personal lore, etc. But let's take a look at like the officer interviews. None of the work that I did was done with the intent of saying, "Ha, Phil, I'm better than you." It was done with the idea of being able to say, "Okay, Phil, we can finally show you're lying. Now please tell the truth." Anyway, I'm off on a tangent. Phil, take us back to you having no self-awareness.
So it's debatable whether or not this guy's actually making more money than me or not. To be honest, I don't even think it matters. Like I've told you guys, with my goals and the way it's working, I'm happy to make what I make. I am. Like, I'm in better places right now than I've been in many years. And I'm able to do things like take an extra day off to spend with my wife because I can afford to, okay? I can improve my set. I can buy a game. I can get Legos and things. I have money to spend because of all of you, because you've supported me in such a great positive way these past 6 to 8 months. And I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much for changing my life for the better, all right? And if you haven't noticed, I didn't have to actually degrade myself to do it.
We're gonna need a montage. Ooh, it takes a montage.
What you gonna do when Philomania runs wild on you, brother? From Street Fighter. There you go. Here's my big beefy. Look, my big beefy Street Fighter arm. Oh, look at that. Look at that elbow. Oh. What a dumb thing to say. Nice, Asia. Well, if you want Popeye so badly, why don't you just order it and eat it off stream with your wife? Because then how are we gonna do it as a reward when we hit the goal? All right, is that it, guys? Should we end the show? I guess we're not gonna hit the goal before we end the show. $7 to go. We're not gonna hit it. Someone can't drop a nice $7 super chat or a $7 tip or 3 memberships on YouTube or two subs on Kick. Or if someone wanted to be really nice, they could do a $157 tip, and then we could hit 2 goals.
We're gonna need a montage. Ooh, it takes a montage.
In fact, quite the opposite. I've elevated myself to do it. I've improved my life situation. I've improved with the way I act, I dress. My content quality has gone far higher up, as opposed to turning myself into the dancing clown to make a living, okay? So, so very much for an incredibly generous contribution. He's got a big message as well, but let's go ahead and play that animation. And let me go ahead and do my celebratory dance during that animation as well. Jinx is here, supporting the streams. I'm going to dance because I'm happy, you know what I mean? Hey, thank you, Jinx, so very much. You may wonder, well, why is Phil doing this today? It's very simple. There's 2 reasons. Number 1, because over this entire time period that I've completely laid off this man, he has literally never laid off me. The man is such a pathetic loss of time and effort, right? He has to keep doing the same shtick. He is the literal hamster that has to keep running in the same wheel. Because if he ever stops running in that wheel, nothing else will ever work for him. So he's stuck endlessly being the hamster in the wheel and can't get off, okay? So he has to do the same thing over and over. He can never try to diversify or do anything different. So literally, no exaggeration. Every day it's about me. Every piece of content's about me. Every waking moment is Phil. This guy is obsessed. And, you know, I said this months ago. It's to the point where it's like it's scary. It is. In all honesty, this is not me jesting. I'm going to be very transparent with all of you right now. When it gets to this level of crazy, this man is mentally deranged. I want you guys to understand this fully. He is. This is not, this is all jokes or whatever. This guy's fucked up in the head. And this is the kind of guy that will probably do something crazy down the line from what I've observed. No one could be this obsessed with one person and actually be, oh, this is just a joke. But there's no joke anymore. People have called you out for your level of mania and told you how unhappy it was. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna need your credentials there, Phil. Like, that's a medical claim with no caveat. I mean, I'll make observations about you, Phil, but I'll base them in my work experience, and I'm also very forthcoming with the fact that I'm not a doctor, a psychologist, big ups to Steve of the Dead, or otherwise trained to give actual diagnoses. Saying that someone has a mania or an obsession could border on the lines of defamation, but I don't think you're going to find a prosecutor or a judge that would take that case. Irrespective, I digress. Phil, you're running a segment on Rich. You're focusing on him, and at least to my knowledge, his critiques are about your behavior, your begging, and other subjective topics. He's not saying he knows you, I don't know, hurt puppies or beat your wife. He's listing opinion. By contrast, and yes, I'm making this about me again, hopefully for the last time this video, but by contrast, Phil, you stated I lied. I was deceptive. I willingly and wantingly introduced untrue statements, claims, or evidence against you, and that is an objectively untrue statement. Now, you want to go on a stream and say I'm annoying, I'm weird, or I'm a goober. Cool, man. You do you. Opinions are opinions. Chances are I'll giggle at it. But I'm not going to engage on a personal vendetta against you for subjective claims or statements. Like what you're doing with Rich here, you're starting to get paranoid about shit that's not even there, bud.
It's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, he's crazy. That's number one. Number two, people have been telling me about this for months and months. Obviously, there's a demand to see me react to it. Okay, there is. If not, you guys wouldn't have kept bringing it up for months and months. Now it's been months, right? I can't even remember the last time I mentioned him. So in this case, every once in a while, you want to bring it up for variety, do something a little different. We will. Okay. And then number three, I'm going to be very honest and transparent with all of you. Okay. I'm just really in a bad mood because of the stuff that happened in my personal life yesterday. So since he's taken opportunity every single day for the last, 10 years to dump on me, I think when I'm in a bad mood and I just want to maybe feel better about myself, I think I'm going to watch some review tech content to just boost myself up by watching the lowest form of humanity and realize, thank God I never was degraded to that level. And I still have self-respect and I still have a great loving family and I have all these things to be grateful for. I can watch his content and realize, wow, life ain't so bad. So that's why we're going to be doing this today. Fair enough? I hope that explains my reasoning. Okay. All right. So.
Yeah, Phil, that explains your reasoning. But wasn't this you literally just a few minutes ago, though?
Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. It's the golden rule. It's a way to live. And I hope that more people would actually, abide by that.
I think we just got a land speed record for preaching a biblical ideology and then doing the exact opposite.
We're going to begin. And you might be wondering, what are we going to watch today? Well, I'm going to be honest. I didn't work too hard on this, okay, at all.
I am shocked. Shocked. Well, not that shocked.
All I did is I just went to his most recent archive stream. So if you're ever interested in review text content, here's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to do him a solid. All right, you ready for this? Unlike what everyone else does. All you got to do is go to his actual streaming channel, RTU Streams. And as you can see, today we're not going to watch a detractor video. We're not going to watch someone who edited his content. I'm actually going to watch his real stream. Because in reality, this is what you should do. If you're going to benefit from watching someone else's content in a negative way, you should actually watch their content. All right, not someone else's. Now, you might say, well, Phil, I don't understand. Are you sure you're not exaggerating? Well, I mean, all I got to do is look over here in related videos and show you that 9 days ago he streamed a stream. There's my head. There's my leg. That's my leg in the thumbnail there. Okay. And if you go to his channel, you'll literally see that's every single stream. I wish that I was exaggerating, but every single stream is my face, my body parts, me, everything there. It's always me. The guy is literally 100% fucking obsessed, right? Like, no exaggeration. This guy is going to become like, what's his name? The killer from fucking Silence of the Lambs, the guy who puts you in the hole and says it rubs the lotion on his skin or else it gets the hose again. And he wants to, like, rip your face off and wear it or whatever. Like, that's the level at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's that crazy. Okay? So.
If you don't want people making funny pictures out of your nasty ass leg, don't put it on Twitter. If you don't want people making GIFs of you doing your failed push-up, checking to see if your arms would fit in your room. Yes, he's actually said that. Then don't put it on camera, Phil. If you don't want your moobs on display, stop putting on tight shirts or lose some fucking weight. This isn't difficult, Phil. You're supplying him with the ammunition. Stop doing out-of-pocket shit, and Rich won't have out-of-pocket shit to show.
This is his starter thumbnail of his stream. Do I have to say anything? Do I have to actually say a word? Or can we just continue on to actually where he jumps on straight? Like, we We don't have to even observe. Just all you have to do is use your eyes. Okay? That's it. I don't have to comment. Okay? So let's actually jump into some of his content. Here we go. So here's him starting up. Okay? And you may notice something. He's got a green screen. Did you notice that? That's right. Review Tech uses a green. I wonder who else uses a green screen. Well, let's take a look. Not me. You see a green screen behind me? No. You want to know why? Because I actually use modern technology. I'm not using insanely outdated, cheapo, poor man's tech. I'm actually using good tech. So when I'm on a green screen, there's no microphone in the shot. There's no laptop in the shot. My microphone doesn't disappear into the side of the fucking frame. It doesn't look cheap because it's not. Because I actually care about my content. But this schlub basically saw me using a green screen months ago, and he got incredibly jealous because his setup looks awful. If you don't know, he's filming out of his spare bedroom, okay? He has no lighting. He has a fucking corner lamp, like a bedroom lamp is his lighting in the office. Not all the nice LEDs or, RGBs that you see behind me that I edit every day so you have a nice setup, okay? Nope, nothing like that. This dumbass has a fucking painted wall that's blue and a cornered lamp, all right? He has no setup at all. So he got made fun of so badly when basically I upgraded my setup and it's 40 times better than his. He got incredibly jealous and he ran out and he bought a cheap green screen and he tried to set it up. And instead of actually doing it right, this is how it's set up. So first of all, it looks like he wants to fucking suck on his microphone, doesn't it? Does he not realize that the mic doesn't have to be in your mouth? Like my microphone right now is about 7-8 inches away from my mouth. It sounds fine, doesn't it? Does it sound, here's what it would sound like if it was as close as he has it in his mouth. Okay. Now it might sound a little deeper, but in truth, I'm not like self-conscious about my testosterone levels. So I don't care that if I sit back a little bit slightly more like this, that my voice is a little bit more high-pitched. I think Rich is a little self-conscious about that because if he had a high-pitched voice, then everyone would make fun of him even more. So he has to like kiss the mic. He's like licking it when he does his fucking content. You don't have to do that. All right. At all. This is stupid.
Oh my god, what is this? What are we doing? As with almost all his flexes, this isn't the flex DSP thinks it is. Using a green screen or using your quote-unquote AI to clear your background, to quote DSP, isn't meaningful content. It's a blank background or a JPEG background, but not only does he put way too much emphasis on the green screen AI conversation, he then immediately nullifies his own argument by saying that Rich somehow fucks it up with no background when DSP has RGBs. And Phil's love affair with colored light strips never made sense to me since he considers himself a gamer and you can't see the damn things when he's poorly playing his game of choice. So why do your RGBs matter if you're canceling out your background? Now, when it comes to the mic, it completely depends on what sound or voice that you're wanting to record. Now, I personally run my mic close to the mouth, and I like it better that way. It means I don't have to daintily lift a pinky when I hit my mute button, and I think it nullifies the echo of the room that I'm in. Oh, and speaking of room, didn't Phil just critique Rich for doing his show in a spare bedroom? Well, where the fuck are you, Phil? Did the Chop Shop boys have this room repurposed for streaming upon moving in? No? Then you too are in a spare bedroom. What are these arguments and comparisons you're making, man? But back to the mic. When he goes to compare the sound by moving closer, given the alternative, I like the closer to the mic sounding Phil. Not to mention the fact that Phil cuts full words off almost every day because he doesn't have the volume or a deep enough voice to make the mic register at all times. Again, these complaints are so weird. Yeah, I've ripped on Phil for his tech, but it's typically because of the cost of that tech or the fact that it's completely unnecessary. Not because I have better tech than you. Who the fuck does this? And Phil, I have to ask, why aren't you concerned about your testosterone levels? You absolutely should be. You laze around all day, don't get enough sun or exercise, and drink until you're gin tweeting in the early morning hours. I'd bet money his levels are no higher than 250 when you want them to be more near 900 to 1250 for his age. Not to mention, it comes off as a projection of insecurity. I don't know why DSP thought this bit was a good idea because it comes off as one of the worst cringe moments that he's had in recent memory.
In fact, he doesn't need that mic arm at all. It serves no purpose. Because allow me to show you what the purpose of a mic arm is. Are you ready? Here's why you need a mic arm. Because if you have one, right, you can do awesome stuff. I can look like I'm on the beach, but then I can go to a wide shot and you can actually see my setup in the studio. When I'm playing a game, I can change my camera angle. So now the mic arm is repositioning the mic so it's not in the way of the shot. So now you can get a cool face cam over here, but then I could just go right back to the show over here. You see, that's the purpose of the mic arm. When you actually make content that requires it, okay? Rich doesn't make content that requires that mic boom arm. He literally sits there like a fat fucking sack of lump. That is what he is, a sack of lump, okay? And he just talks like this into it. You don't need any of anything that he has right now, right? Like, also, you notice something? You notice that I'm able to read all of your fucking text text in the chat right now. I can respond to all of it. But you notice I don't have anything in front of me? Do you see a laptop? You want to know why he actually has that laptop in front of him? I'm going to show you later, because he takes his shirt off, but he doesn't want to show like his nipples and his disgusting stomach. So he actually blocks his body with the laptop. So he says, oh, my shirt's off, but he actually isn't topless because the laptop is blocking this disgusting, sagging part of his body. So it's just ridiculous that this fucking guy makes content that anyone watches to begin with. And on top of that, his setup is so lame. He thinks that copying me, that he's, okay, Rich, you're not copying me.
And it was about here that I had to bail. I stopped it here because I'm guessing the main portion of the rant is immediately afterwards, and I wanted to get this bit out. DSP calling anyone a sack of lump is a bold statement, as is DSP calling another band's stomach disgusting. Phil, you have a gut. I wouldn't be surprised to learn you actually have gynecomastia, plus your arm-checking push-up that you did would have left me so embarrassed I'd have joined a gym the same day. Now, I'm not saying Dickers is fit, but it's just another one of those really weird and alien observations to have. You're not fit, you're not strong. Why are you throwing stones from your glass house? And what's with the gatekeeping? Mic arm gatekeeping? Why? Perhaps, Phil, he wants to have a mic arm for the same reason I do. Here you can see I use it to move my mic out of the way when I don't need it. Here it is when I'm recording. And here's my desk without the mic in the way. I have it like this since I do more than just stream on my systems. Phil, do you honestly think that everyone must have a setup that mirrors yours exactly? I know I've said it several times so far, but this segment, it makes no sense. What is your end goal here, Phil? It didn't garner you any support that you wanted, and you came out looking like a giant piece of shit. Why do this?
You're a sad, pathetic attempt to be me. You wish you were me. You're not. You never will be. I'll always be better than you. It's too late. All right? Doesn't matter how many cheap green screens you buy, how many new shirts you put on, how many mic arms, how many fucking microphones you suck. You still suck. All right? Your content is garbage, and it always will be. So just stop. Do something original and stop trying to fucking be me, you pathetic fucking sack. Okay, now let's actually watch some of the content. Ready for this? I know I'm not. I mean, seriously, I know I'm not. I skimmed through the actual stream, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing, to the point where not only twice, but 3 times I laughed so hard I almost pissed myself. All right? So let's start. Let's just randomly start here and see what's going on in the world of Review Tech USA today. Ready?
Shit to get off my... Has nothing to do with locale or anything like that, so...
I have shit to get off my breasts, and it has nothing to do with lolcow. He actually has a button he presses that says breasts. Oh, and by the way, during this show, basically what was happening was he was actively eating these weed or marijuana edibles during his shows. Then he was drinking these weed-infused drinks, okay? Everyone gave him shit for it and says, no, you can't. You're working high. It's embarrassing. Stop doing it. So now he insists that when he goes on stream that he's sober. But as you're going to see over the course of this stream, his eyes become increasingly more squinty and sucked and swollen into his face. His language actually becomes increasingly more slurred. It's very obvious he took something before before his stream, and it's affecting him more and more over the course of the stream. So even though he's drinking a polar ice seltzer water, right? It doesn't matter. He's already high. Okay.
It's a good drink.
So what I'm hearing, Phil, is that there could be validity to the notion that you're not drinking water or going to the bathroom, but rather drinking gin or getting gin when you say you go to the bathroom. I mean, you're the one hypothesizing that the dude does stuff off camera or deceives his audience to their face. Doesn't that mean you could do it too?
Yeah, it seems... see, I don't believe anything from that show. Like, I actually went on there like, yo, I'll take Wing's spot. I'm a fucking drama-mongering dickhead. I actually, you know what?
Rich actually believes that Keemstar wanted him to go on Lolcow Live and replace Wings of Redemption. That literally was never in any discussion. Ever. He was never even considered for that. It was considered to bring him on to be on a side show, not the main show. No, he was not going to replace Boogie or Wings. This guy is insane. He actually believes in his head that he's big enough that he was going to replace one of the main attractions of Lolcow Live, even though he was never offered to be on that show to begin with.
You know, for someone who doesn't know anything about Lolcow Live, DSP sure seems to know a lot about Lolcow Live. I mean, he preaches that he doesn't watch it or know anything about it because it's for mouth-drooling morons, but now that Rich is going to be on it, or has been on it, Phil has the inside scoop, knows what everyone was offered, and magically knows that Rich was offered nothing. Fucking how, Phil? Or, shocker of shockers, have you been lying this whole time? Again?
Because of the time slot, Oh, and they were like, oh, we got to split it 2 ways. Listen, motherfucker, let me tell you something, Keemstar. Look at me. Look at me right now. First off, I was going to do the other show, and you know that. Secondly, I would make you money on there. I'd make you money.
See his eyes now? See his eyes are starting to droop? And it's funny. Look at me, Keemstar. You look at me. Who are you? Do you think you're in fucking New York City or something like an old-time mafioso, dude? Rich, we are looking at you, and we're all laughing. We can't help it. We can't look at you for more than half a second without cracking up realizing what a fucking degenerate human you are. Like, what the hell, dude? By the way, thank you to Zimmer. Zimmer with a gifted sub there over on Kick. Thank you so very much, Zimmer. I appreciate that. Let's get that on the leaderboard there. Add it in. Thank you, Zimmer. I mean, it's just hilarious how the guy talks. I would have made you money on that main show. I would have done... Rich, you're not on Lolcow anymore. You're sitting here in your awful office, in your awful setup, streaming to a couple hundred people who hate you, who are literally just here to make fun of you. You're a clown. You're never going to have popularity ever again, positivity ever again. It's gone. And it's your fault. You're the one who squandered it all. Because you could have had it, but instead, you just kept on with your ways of being a schlub. Okay.
Me on there. People tell me, oh, Rich, you're all about drama. Yes, I am.
Could someone do us a favor? Could someone break his stream deck? Because between breasts and the fucking canned claps at this point, I think actually you would actually be doing the human race, like, and Earth in general, like a fucking big service to just take that and just like smash it. Just destroy it.
And when you get done with that, whoever you are, if you could go ahead and take out Phil's RGBs, I'd really appreciate it.
Because if he didn't have that shit to interrupt what he's saying, he actually would lose his train of thought. Because look at him. He actually has lost his train of thought. He has to press the laugh track so his brain can catch up, his addled brain, because he's so high right now. He has to take like 10, 15 seconds to catch up. So here, wait 5 to 10 seconds for the laugh to end. And then I can say my next thing because I'm just can't even have a stream of thought, right? Imagine if every time I said something, I played, I don't know, this. Like, wow, that's great. Really added a lot. Wait, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, that's right. I was going to say that this guy's a fat sack, right? Like, this is stupid. It's awful content. By the way, hilarious. He's got a green screen set up, and he's too stupid to realize that because he wears glasses, it reflects the green screen back. So constantly he has black holes where his eyes should be. He can't figure this out. Like, if you have a green screen, you can't wear reflective glasses because the green screen will pick it up, or else you got to chroma key it out. But he doesn't get it. He's that stupid.
I'm actually going to be on there for a hot minute tonight, so that's why I'm streaming. What is it, 11? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If
Look,
it's real.
look at the black holes in his eyes. Oh, my God.
If it's real.
I'm going to catch it right there.
If I know how the show works, if it's real.
Oh, yeah, it's funny. So during this 2-hour broadcast that he did, he kept talking about, supposedly he's supposed to go on a Lolcow Tech Talk that night, but he says, I know how the show works. I don't know if it's real or not, but I'm going to assume it is. So he's doing a 2-hour stream to give time so that he can go on the Lolcow Tech Talk show. However, during this stream, he fucks all of that up completely. I'm going to show you why. It's one of the most hilarious things I think I've ever seen in my life. Wait till you see how he fucks it up during this 2-hour stream before he appears on the Lolcow stuff.
That I would do. Not only would I do that and fucking kill it, period. That's not an assumption. This isn't even me trying to beg. It's
Rich, when did you ever kill anything? You've admitted that in your own content in the past, you were bad. The content was just regurgitated news stories and opinions that weren't even your own. And any modern content you make is just making fun of me or sitting here like a sad sack. Like, you don't have content. So what makes you think that you were going to be on Lolcow and kill it? Kill it with what? You don't have anything to offer the planet. Don't you get it? Nothing. Zero. You are a vacuous black hole. You are the biggest waste of time. The fact that anyone sits on your stream and throws you shekels so that you'll dance like the monkey you are is amazing to me. You should be grateful for what you have. Don't be sad that you got kicked off the show. All right? Just be happy that you got like 5 seconds on said show. You're absolutely ridiculous. You have nothing you would offer if you were on there. They would all just take pot shots at you and you would stand there like the target you are. You know, like at the carnival, the person who sits on the bench and people throw the balls when they hit the target, it dunks at the dunk tank. That's you forever. You're the donkey. They're the dunkers. Wings of Redemption and Boogie are your dunkers. I want you to think about that for a second.
Okay, now it's starting to make sense. Notwithstanding whatever problem upset him this day, Phil has no safe harbor anymore. Kino has played their hand and have made fun of him. The 220 arc is in full swing. Steve butchered and smoked the pig live. And this is quite literally the only semblance of positivity or control that he has left. I mean, when Phil brought up the carnival game, I could only think about Triple P, that's what I call him, literally telling Phil, yeah, I meant it when I said your wife is fat. And what did Phil do? Stood there like a cuckold and just took it. No defense, no incredulity, just, okay, Mr. Triple P, as long as you're not going to stop being my friend. And I mean, while it's making sense, it doesn't make it any less sad or pathetic.
Okay.
just a fact. I would fucking blow up the main lolcow show. Facts.
Oh my God. I can't even comment. The guy doesn't understand. Like, who does lolcow want on their show? They want people who, like, when they're on there, it'll be a moment, right? So his moment was to go on there, get embarrassed completely, and get thrown the fuck off with the quickness. That was it. That was his moment. His moment is done. He has nothing else to offer anyone on the internet. His time is over, right? He just doesn't get it.
And it's not that I would be sitting there doing a big thing of grab ass with Keem. All right, that's already going to be these. No.
All right. Do you see what just happened? So I want you to take a look at the upper left-hand corner of the screen. It's a little hard to see because I have my leaderboard over it. You know, my leaderboard that's getting nicely generated with your contributions, so thank you for that. But I'll remove it for a second just to show you. So his actual pop-ups on his stream is my incident face from 2016. I'm going to repeat that. From 2016, it is now 9 years old in the past, okay? So his pop-ups are my incident face with a, relaxing relief sound effect. In fact, you know what, Rich? Here you go. Ready? I'm going to give you a freebie. You can use that from now on as your audio clip. If you're going to do it, at least use my voice, you fucking pathetic sack. Use my real sound effect, okay? So he has that playing. That is his actual pop-up for his contributions, all right? Because you might say, oh, wait a minute. Look, Phil, he removed your face from his setup now, so now you can't say that you're constantly on his mind and he's obsessed with you. Yeah, except that every single time someone contributes, it's my O-face on his screen.
Tell me this bothers you without telling me this bothers you.
I want you to think about that. So now it used to be behind him, and he didn't see it. Now he actively sees that popping up on his screen every day, constantly. You don't think he's obsessed with me yet? Really? I'd say you're mistaken, okay? By the way, I received a $2 tip. Someone says, Keem had high hopes for Rich to be successful on the show. He was doing fine in the beginning. Rich then started no call, no showing, quitting, then coming back, refusing to do content, basically being a huge burden on Tech Talk. Well, does that sound surprising to anyone? This is the guy who doesn't have the work ethic to do his own content regularly. What made you think that he was going to change just because someone put him under a contract to make other kinds of content? You know, he's not going to change overnight, you know, and quite frankly, I don't think he's ever going to change. He's always going to be this kind of person, right? Anyway, so that's just the beginning of his show, all right? And as you can see, we scroll through. I skimmed through it last night, admittedly. He tries to talk politics. He has no idea what the fuck he's talking about. He's so fucking confused and mind-addled. He doesn't know who he's talking about, what he's talking about. The best part about Rich's show, all right, is that someone will do a super chat. He'll start to respond to that super chat, and he'll be in the middle of a thought, and then another super chat will come in, and he'll just start responding to the next. So he literally never finishes a thought. So this guy would say, listen, I only care about justice for Peanut the Squirrel. And he'll go, well, Peanut, wait, who's Peanut the Squirrel? Because I think, and then someone else will super chat, and he'll immediately go to that one. So if you think, oh, I'm tuning in for his opinions, you actually never get his opinion. You get half of a sentence, and then there's another piece of content that begins. He doesn't have the wherewithal to actually finish a thought, okay? It's pretty pathetic. Anyway, so continuing on, because this is all very boring, he basically just blabs with his audience, and as you can see, look at all the super chats coming in. So he makes bank. Like, I'm not going to crap on this guy right now for what he's making. He's making bank on this show. He's getting $5 super chat, $5 super chat, $5 super chat. I think he has a minimum $5 super chat, okay? And that's what it is. So $5 to get on screen. And a lot of these super chats are quite embarrassing insults, okay? And some of them are dumb, crazy things to set him up to say something dumb, you know? He's talking about dementia, right? It's all kinds of stuff. Because he's leftist, if you didn't know. He's to the left, so he hates Trump. He hates the Republican Party. And so anyone who insults Trump, immediately he loves this person. So it is people will contribute just to bait him into thinking like that they're agreeing with him. And in reality, they're not. They're just baiting him into saying dumb shit constantly. And that's basically like the whole first hour of this stream. It's incredibly boring because it's just him meandering and never actually saying anything. Now, we're going to get to the good part right now, okay? This is where the fun begins. So it's about halfway into his stream. Keep in mind, he has to keep his stream short because he's supposed to appear on the lolcow Tech Talk later tonight. Live on stream, he decides he wants to check in to see what's going on with the people from the lolcow shows. So he actually opens his Discord. He puts the Discord on the screen of his stream without permission, for the record. Like, no one knows that they're on his stream when he does this. He accidentally forgets to hide any of the info. So he literally is exposing all the people on Discord who he talks to.
Sorry to let him cook for so long, but this video will be 3 hours if I nitpick everything. But man, how glad am I that I didn't get this video finished quickly. Because if you're unaware, Mr. Smug, oh my god, how could someone put their Discord up live? DSP here? Yeah, he put his Discord up live yesterday. We are now resolving arcs in under 24 hours. It's just amazing.
And then, all right, I'm just going to play the video. All right? And you're going to see. Here we go.
No fucking donations. Both of you guys suck fucking dick. Turn on your camera, Santa Claus.
I got here. Listen.
Fucking motherfucking retard. No, you listen, Linda. There's Rich. There's Rich. There's Rich. Rich, handle it. Handle it, Rich. This motherfucker's a pervert, Rich.
Mike, you're looking. Hold on. Let me change so people
who's
can
in
see.
charge of the show? Who am I talking to right now? Is it you? No.
You want to talk to me?
So this is his stream right now. Okay, this is his actual stream. All right, take a look at the left-hand side of the screen. He actually has private Discord info on the screen right now. Like, this should not be public knowledge, what's being put out there. He's showing all his contacts. He's showing his entire discussion history. You can see everyone he's ever talked with. That's private info. That should never be put on a stream ever. Now, admittedly, when I was getting into the tech stuff, I fucked up once or twice. I did. I made mistakes. And so, you might say, well, that's kind of hypocritical. This guy has literally been doing this shit for months and months. He's been working with Keemstar. He's been working with Jay. He's working. Why is he doing this insanely unprofessional thing right now on his stream? Just exposing all of this information. All right. In addition, take a look at his layout. You see the down, it says goal 50, members 30. So look at my goal bar right now at the top of my screen. You see that? See, it's nice text. We got font, we got colors. It's moving. It's beautiful. His goal bar is that text at the bottom of the screen. Like, what the fuck? And no, this is not a bit. Someone just said, what is this, a bit? This is not a bit. What he's doing on stream, he wasn't supposed to do. He wasn't supposed to actually join this show. This was just something he decided to do live during his stream for no reason. And the funniest part about all of it, ladies and gentlemen, that's really him in the bottom left. Where's my cursor? Right here. This is actually what his room looks like. This is his green screen setup. That fucking dumpy ass piece of shit room, that's what he broadcasts out of. That room is smaller than mine. This is actually worse and smaller than my room right now. You can see his shitty painted wall behind him. His fucking, dude, there's the lamp. You can see the corner lamp. The bedroom lamp is sticking out from behind his shitty green screen. Okay? So this is what it looks like when the green screen's on. This is his actual setup. Why does he have a monitor on behind him?
So remember, this is Mr. Do Unto Others, and now that he's gone ahead and unprofessionally showed his Discord, I guess it's open season on Phil. But what I'm more curious about is the square footage of their offices. Why the fuck does that matter? You need enough room to use your streaming software and do whatever the hell else it is that you plan to do on stream. If I was sitting in a 40-foot by 40-foot room for my office, it'd be a waste of space. So now we have gatekeeping green screens, gatekeeping mic arms, and now we're gatekeeping or attacking square footage? This is too much, DSP, even for you. Now I'm going to skip ahead a bit because the next 15 minutes is nothing but the same rehashed statements or arguments over and over, so Phil, kindly wrap it the fuck up.
You can't make it up. You can't exaggerate. This isn't staged. This is the existence of Review Tech USA and his 2-hour stream. Get it? And by the way, does he actually watch my content? No, he can't be bothered. He actually goes and watches a detractor's video. So not only does he drop everything to react to my content because he has no content, then he doesn't even make his own react content. He's reacting to an existing reaction. He can't even formulate his own opinions. He can't watch the raw content to make content. He actually has to steal a detractor's actual content to make his own. So it's not even his own content. And by the way, he keeps going and going and going and going and going, and that's a show. Literally, look at the end. It's me playing Street Fighter 6. You can't make it up. You can't fucking make it up. So in an entirety of his 2-hour and 20-minute broadcast, okay, he embarrasses himself with his title screen. He comes on and immediately has my O face popping up in every contribution. He talks politics for an hour, which is a huge fucking embarrassment. The guy has no idea what the fuck, who he is, what he's saying or doing. He's becoming increasingly more inebriated over the hour, even though he pretends like he's not because he's drinking seltzer water on stream, right?
Man, who does that remind me of?
Then he's out of content, so he tries to jump on Lolcow. They ban his ass because he's a fucking loser. Then he tries to play Doom. He can't get the audio to work, so he rage quits on that within 20 minutes. Then he takes off his shirt and he reacts to me for an hour, and that's his show. Rich, you don't have a fucking right to say a word about me and my content ever again. You are a miserable embarrassment to every person who ever turned on their camera or broadcast anything over the internet. You're a joke. You're a living meme. You're far, far, far below me. You're a fucking bug to be stomped on. Shut the fuck up, you life loser. You obsessed walrus. Move the fuck on and leave the world alone because the world is done with you. I don't know if you realize this. Your time came and went. If you disappeared right now and never made content, people would be like, well, anyway, carrying on. No one would cry. No one would be sad. No one would care. You're a wretch. I can run tech better than you, but you're the tech guy. Don't you get it? It's over. It's time to say goodbye to the internet. Just give up. I wish that I could motivate you to be a better person. I tried that last year. Instead, you continued down your path of degeneracy. You continue down your path of nonsense. You're not capable of doing it. The only way I think you could actually improve yourself is to seek real help, meaning get professionals involved in your life who'll get you off the drugs, because you are on drugs. It's apparent when you watch that stream. He's high as fuck, okay? You need to get off, but you can't. You have no work ethic. You have no self-respect. You have no self-control. You are the definition of a degenerate, okay? Please go away, because it's sad now. It's that no one is watching you and saying, wow, he's really sticking it to Phil. They're just watching, and they're just pointing and saying, look at that clown. Thank God I'm not him. Every time I watch Rich, I feel better about myself. And that's sad. You have nothing to add at all to society. Why don't you understand this? Does it take me telling you for you to finally fucking get it? Because it took me upgrading my setup to get you to try to upgrade your setup. It took my moving leaderboard for you to finally get a leaderboard. It took me actually getting a green screen, not really, for you to get a green screen. So now I have to tell you directly. Just stop. Just go away, man. Save yourself the embarrassment. Save humanity the embarrassment. Just turn it off. There's nothing to offer here. Lolcow doesn't want you back. You're not going to replace fucking Wings. You're not going to be on the Tech Talk show again. You blew it. You had your chance and you fucking blew it. Just deal with it. Stop trying to pretend, oh, I'm making fun of Phil. You're not making fun of me. You're not. There's nothing you're doing that's making fun of me at all. All you're doing is self-embarrassing yourself every single moment you turn on your camera. It's just like I said previous, but I guess it didn't sink in. For me, my most embarrassing moment was in 2016 when I made a huge mistake and I'll never live it down. For Rich, every moment he turns on his stream and his camera is on is his most embarrassing moment. And he continues to make more most embarrassing moments every single day. But he doesn't get it. He actually thinks the joke's not on him. Can someone tell him? Like, I understand he's making bank, and that's the thing. He's making money on these streams, so maybe he just doesn't care. Maybe it's time to pull that rug out from under him, too. He's going to continue the clown show and not help himself as long as people keep giving him money to do it. I mean, he needs help, man. And if you just keep enabling him, he's going to keep making this garbage every fucking day. I take that back. He's going to keep making this garbage whenever he can bother to get his fat, lazy ass rolling over to his setup and try to get it half working, because we know he doesn't actually work and he doesn't actually know how to work his setup. I just taught him how to do it twice in one fucking stream. But you know, it's just sad. The guy is just a malicious fucking dirtbag and doesn't deserve any attention. And you just got to stop giving it to him. I'll say this to all those people who are on his streams, okay, and you're contributing to get him to say dumb shit. You understand, you could come over to my stream and we could just chill and actually make good content together and have a good time and laugh at, you know, talk the same shit. You know what I mean? You don't have to actually be on his streams and enable his awful lifestyle. You can actually come and like hang out with someone who cares and wants to make good content for you and actually learns his setup and actually like works. You can do that. You can come over. You're welcome. Any of his trolls are very welcome to come enjoy my content at any time. And we can hang, we can laugh, and you can tell me all about his antics, and we'll have a good time together. And that way you don't have to fucking fill his pockets, because the only reason he's putting on the 2-hour shit show streams to begin with is because you keep filling his pockets. Did you see how many super chats he made during that? Hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Now, it said he made 50 members. There are probably 49 Argentinian members in there, so he probably made the equivalent of $2 out of that. But those super chats are legit. So he's making bank on it. You know what I'm saying? And the reason he'll never improve is because you keep allowing him to make a living being a schlo. Get it?
Holy damn. I was told it was bad, but I didn't know it was that bad. Almost every word that escaped his mouth was an observation or a statement that would apply to Phil, and the lack of self-awareness, in my opinion, is getting to the point of psychosis. I mean, really, let's go through some of these things Phil said. He said, save yourself the embarrassment. I mean, this is Phil all over, from eating like an alien, whining about Street Fighter, or allowing his friends to berate him and his wife. Yeesh, may want to consider packing it up, Phil. He says, you blew it, you had your chance, and you blew it. And we're going to have to go back to before the adpocalypse, but yeah, he was on top of the world and allowed himself to fall so far into debt from a fucking gotcha game, he had to file bankruptcy. I mean, I used to say no matter how bad my day is, I haven't had a search warrant executed at my house. I think I'm going to add or had to file bankruptcy to that in the future. He says, all you're doing is self-embarrassing yourself every moment you turn on your stream. Now, bad grammar aside, this is quite literally Phil every stream. From the 220 cope to the begging to play with Legos, every day for Phil is an embarrassment, and he doesn't know it. Lastly, he said he's going to keep putting on the clown show for as long as people keep giving him money to do it. And at this point, I'm almost sure that he's trolling us. It's the literal definition of Phil's streams. He said he wouldn't do it if he couldn't support his family. So he's stuck. Day after day, week after week, year after year. The only thing binding him to his so-called work is the money the dents keep giving him. I don't know if I've ever seen someone give a speech which was so directly applicable to themselves and failing to realize it quite as badly as this. But that'll do it for this one. Big ups to Snort Hogan again. I appreciate you. Big ups to all of you who have been here for a hot minute, and to those of you who are new, welcome. Glad to have you around. To the newbies, the neophytes, and the gym rats, what's there to say? You humble me every single day, and I appreciate the support from the bottom of my heart. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and will come back to check out the next one, but until next time, swole is the goal for a troll. Lift heavy, eat clean. If you guys haven't heard, Phil apparently has owned the 220 meme, and it's dead. I mean, I haven't seen the memo, but Phil says it's out there.